So, what's a function? A defined function is intended for use as a standalone segment of code that may be used repeatedly throughout the program and can be called from within anywhere in the program. You might be surprised to learn that you have already used several functions that are built into the NetLinks programming language. Set pulse time, A to I, and midstring are all functions, just to name a few. A great example of why you would use a function would be for a system shutdown event. As you can probably imagine, shutting down an entire system might involve several lines of code, from turning off lights, monitors, and projectors, to closing shades and even setting climate settings for a room or multiple rooms. If you need to execute this block of code from multiple points in your code, for instance, a system off button on a touch panel, or a timed event that happens every night, or if an occupancy sensor has reported the room as unoccupied, etc., why write the same block of code multiple times? This is very redundant and seems like a waste of time. A function can act as a macro and save you a ton of typing. You can build all the code once, and then the button event, time of day event, and I/O event can simply call the function to have it execute. Alternatively, a defined function can be used inline as an expression, returning some value to a statement in the programming. This is why defined function has largely replaced a defined call. A defined call is similar, but it can only be used as a standalone statement and cannot be used inline as an expression. Defined functions must be defined before they can be used. The basic structure of the defined function can contain three arguments: return type, name, and parameter list. Although two of them are optional, return type and parameter list. The first is the return type, which is used in returning a value back to the programming where the function was called. This is any intrinsic data type or array of intrinsic types that NetLinks supports. Defined function allows values to be returned using the return keyword. However, this argument is optional, and the return type may be omitted. If a return statement is encountered anywhere in the function, execution of the function is terminated immediately, and the value, if any, specified as the return value is returned to the caller in the program. A function that returns a value through the return keyword must be declared with a return type. Conversely, a function that is declared without a return type cannot return a value. In this case, the function cannot be used inline as an expression or in an assignment statement. The next argument is the name of the function. This is a required argument, and the name must follow the rules for naming constants and variables. The last argument is the parameter list. The parameter list must appear in parentheses to the right of the function name, and the data type for each parameter should be specified. This is used primarily to pass data or information from the program into the defined function that the defined function will use to perform a specific operation. This argument is also optional and does not need to be specified. However, if the function has no parameters, a set of parentheses must still be included. Using our example from above, if we created a function to shut down the system, we could pass in parameters such as the level you wish to set the lights to, or a temperature to set the climate to. Let's cover one more quick example. This time we'll make use of returning a value back out of your function. In order to use this feature, you must assign a data type to the function. In this example, let's assume you wanted to pass into the function a long string of hex values, and you wanted to return just the checksum as a single byte. In order to accomplish this, you would, of course, as before, use the keyword define function. Next, you would list the return type, in this case char, then the name of the function. The only difference here is that the checksum value is returned to the function from wherever it is called. The best way to really understand functions is to start working with them. Let's dive into our code in the next tutorial and practice what we've talked about.